All right. Hi, Natasha. It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Shanti.
Yeah. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to
Thank you.
share you with the world. Um, Tell me a little bit about yourself and your coaching.
Sure. Well, I am a holistic health and wellness coach and intuitive healer, and I predominantly work with men and women who have suffered for years and years with chronic either neck pain or back pain. Sometimes they have both. Typically, these men and women have tried to get to the bottom of this pain and what's causing it, and they've been to their family doctors who then send them on to specialists, and they've been in all these diagnostic appointments and things are coming up inconclusive, and they're just really frustrated with the whole process, and they're tired of either having to take prescription medication or having their doctors just tell them to take a pill, or maybe even worse yet, suggesting surgery. So they just don't want to go down that road. And I do have a couple of clients who just typically, they're not fans of conventional medicine and they don't want to go that route. So I help them find ways to alleviate and reduce the chronic neck or back pain. Sometimes they're lucky and they can completely eliminate it, but the goal is just really to find strategies to reduce and alleviate the pain that they're experiencing.
Okay. All right. Well, great. So what made you decide to become a coach?
Oh gosh. Well, I decided to get into holistic health and wellness coaching because I really wanted to create a position for myself. I wanted to be able to amalgamate the different educational backgrounds that I have. I have training as a physical therapist assistant, and I also have advanced degrees in psychology and counseling. And so I really have always wanted to help and serve people. And I particularly like the realm of holistic health and wellness coaching because you can use kind of both. So I also like to incorporate the yoga and meditation and some energy work with the clients that I work with as well. So it allows me to not only use my skills, but also to use those skills in a way that I can be of service to other people.
Okay. So I hear that service is a major thing for you, to be able to help people, especially in their journey through trying to find a resolution for their pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what brought you to this particular area, this particular niche?
Well, I personally, I had suffered for many, many years from probably childhood on into adulthood with really chronic neck and shoulder pain myself. I experienced it, it would create debilitating headaches. And I also suffered with major depression for probably about as long as I was in that chronic pain as well. So through my own personal journey and dealing with that and struggling with that, and then being able to overcome it and find ways that really have just changed my whole life, I wanted to be able to share that with others. So I'm hoping to bring some of my skills to the table to help others find the same kind of relief and experience.
Right. That's wonderful. I mean, I know that pain can be something to lead to depression. Chronic pain and depression sort of go hand in hand. So you're certainly offering a wonderful service. How has your life changed since you've been coaching and offering this gift of healing to people?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it really started with being coached myself, right? So I spoke a little bit about my background, what brought me to the niche. And in the past, I utilized mental health, traditional mental health counseling. You know, I did go to a counselor and we'd meet. And it was nice because there was someone who it was like a sounding board, you know, a listening ear, and was supportive, but I didn't ever really find it very effective for me personally. I always just kind of felt like the answers and everything were within. And I'm not saying that I'm not opposed to mental health counseling by any means. It's extremely important and necessary and vital for lots of people out there who have experienced severe, deep trauma. And a therapist can really, really help a person through those types of issues. But for me personally, when I started getting coaching, I just noticed that I had a huge, just complete shift in my vibrational energy. I up-leveled my mindset and I began to notice that I was really healing from the inside out. And so, you know, it just really helped me reframe how I saw my place in the world and how I viewed myself. It helped me to see that I'm responsible for that which exists in my life around me. And it also helped me gain a lot of more confidence in decision making. And I got such a tremendous value out of coaching, and continue to have, you know, coaches that I work with. And I think even the biggest thing is just now I'm pretty much practically pain-free and drug-free. I don't take any prescription drugs for depression or pain. I don't have to rely on over-the-counter, you know, pills like Advil and Aleve and creams and salves and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I really think coaching, it is just so valuable, and it can really help people optimize their health and improve their mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, because I feel like all of those 4 components are just so absolutely crucial in living an optimally healthy life.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Who is your ideal client, do you think? If you had to describe that ideal client, what would they come to you? How would they come to you?
Well, definitely my ideal client is someone who is interested in and is doing personal development and growth work. And they're willing and they're ready to take action and really invest in coaching. They are open-minded, because I do use a lot of different modalities that aren't always considered, you know, mainstream. Sometimes they get that nice woo-woo term, which I absolutely hate, you know, because it may seem that way to those who are not familiar with the work, but all of it has been based in science, and pretty much you can research, you know, all medicine, different types of medicine, physiology, biomechanics, physics, even in terms of down to the quantum level. It's
neurophysiology,
exactly,
and, you know, all of that, and just, you know, the information that's available now about the gains that people have from mindfulness and meditation, and you know, taking that time to slow down and just go within, you know, however that is for you, is proven to be effective in helping people overcome many physical ailments. So I think the world is opening up to the notion that there's, you know, there's Western medicine with medications and surgical interventions, but there's a whole nother realm that uses other tools to help you heal.
Yeah, and in fact, you know, it's kind of like, you know, if you are, because I never recommend anyone to stop working with their physician. I never tell anyone to stop taking any kind of medications or anything like that. They are advised to strictly keep in touch with their physician and to make sure that any changes they're experiencing are healthy changes and so forth. But, you know, it's really a meshing of Eastern and Western. And Eastern medicine deals a lot with energy. And so it's really all about the mindset, the energy work, the, you know, getting things flowing and moving. I won't get into too much of all of that stuff here right now, but you know, just Dr. Joe Dispenza is just a perfect example of what the mind has been able to do. You know, his injury to his back and being confined in a wheelchair and thinking he'd never walk again. And then now what he's been able to do is just absolutely fascinating. So yeah, I don't want to get off on a tangent. I can't remember exactly what the question was.
Well,
now.
it was just, you know, what was your who is your ideal client?
Oh, the ideal client. Yes, sure. So obviously they have to be open-minded, right? They have to have an open mind and maybe a little bit of an understanding or background or knowledge of some of these kinds of philosophies around health and healing. And typically, you know, they're anywhere from, I'd say, 35 years old and 35 and older, you know, just because of where we tend to be when we reach our 30s and on up. People start, you know, they have families, they're thinking more about things. And so just definitely someone who this resonates with, I guess I would say.
Right. Well, that's, you know, knowing who might be attracted to you and who would you would be attracted to. I mean, it is a partnership. Coaching is very much a partnership, and knowing you know, who that might be or what that might be like, and to be able to share that, I think is important, you know, and to be able to share your approach to how you coach is important for people to know. It sometimes allows them to check that box and go, absolutely, this sounds like someone who can help me with what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, and I would say too, you know, this goes for all coaching, that the person's got to be willing and ready. You know, coaches are not there to fix the problem for them. They don't solve the problems, fix the things, give the answers, but rather they help facilitate the work that people are already doing. You know, as coaches, we guide people through the various processes, and by doing so, we can help them become aware of their patterns and recognize opportunities, and then really determine their next steps if they feel stuck in certain areas. And so, you know, if that sounds like the type of person you are and you're looking for coaching or support rather, I would definitely recommend looking into a coach, or if what I am saying resonates,
Right.
I'm available as well.
Absolutely. So what impact do you think coaching will make on our society over the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, that's a good question, and a tricky question. I've never been real good at reflecting far out into the future, but I'll say that, you know, right now I think that coaching's already having a huge impact on society. I like to believe it's because, you know, we as human incarnations are expanding our consciousness at a much greater, faster level than we ever have before. And because of, you know, because an expansion is just so needed for the health of our society and our planet and individuals. And I mean, it's the ripple effect. It's just, you know, just, so there's so much work and effort needed still out there, right, in the areas of conservation and other environmental fields, just to kind of preserve the home that we call Earth here. So I really feel like coaching is helping in the sense that it's facilitating processes on an individual level. And as people turn inward and they start reflecting more deeply on things, they can start to ask themselves, you know, how can I contribute? What can I contribute? What are my gifts, and how can I share my gifts? And doing that daily, and really being able to reflect and then act on those insights that they gain, they're going to add to the evolutionary process and unfoldment and hopefully expansion of consciousness, so that we can really start to take action and make some changes here on our earth. So,
Right.
you know, I can't really speak to the future so much, because for me, I always feel like, you know, the actions and the insight come from the present moment, when we're present and we're still and we're listening and we're able to hear with not just our ears, but with our heart. And, you know, that knowing can, for me, I think, really only emerge in the here and now, in the present moment. So it's really hard for me to speak to 5 or 10 years, but I definitely think coaching is already having an immense impact. And so it can only get hopefully better, right? I hope it can only help to facilitate and even speed up the process more, so that we can really be living fulfilling lives and meaningful lives, and lives that are going to leave a future you know, we can leave a legacy to others when you know, instead of just, oh, I don't even like to think of where the planet could head.
Right. Well, I think, you know, you pretty much said it, in being in this present moment and being present to who you are right now, you know, and looking deep within and asking yourself, is this who I want to be? And if it is not who I want to be, then how do I become that I want to become? And coaches can help you answer those questions. You know, I think it's a wonderful gift to be able to be on a journey with someone who is on that that self-inquiry, and to hold the space for them to look at the answers that are revealed to them. And that becoming process is creating the future.
Yes.
You know, that becoming process is creating the future. So
and living at such a higher vibrational resonance, when you kind of get to that level or that spot, that, you know, you really, I don't know, I've just noticed it's all just really unfolded for me, and helped alleviate and take away what I felt like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders, right? I had that chronic neck pain and shoulder pain. And it was the weight of the world on my shoulders. And the more exploring I did in different areas, the more I felt like I was expanding. And I don't know, it just kind of
it allows you to put that weight down, to take it off your
exactly.
shoulders and lay it down.
They always use the baggage reference, you know, just what's that baggage that we're carrying around with us, and how much longer do we want to suffer carrying around that baggage?
Right. Well, thank you so much, Natasha. I've enjoyed this interview, and I wish you much success in your coaching practice. I know that you have a lot to share and a lot to give, and there are a lot of people out there that are going to be able to use your gifts and your support. So
well, thank you for taking your time, Shanti. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Yeah.
Wonderful.